With Formula One in any way, shape or form, because they're starting to unveil the cars ready for the 2013 season. Could be a very interesting year. Of course, Lewis Hamilton now down in Brackley for the launch of the Mercedes car. All the teams and lots of people in Northamptonshire associated with the motor industry. Fast car, well, the fastest cars hammering around the circuits of the world, with Formula One starting up the new season very soon. It's big business for Northamptonshire. Tracy Chapman and Fast Car. And hi to Carmela, who joined us on the afternoon show yesterday. She just sent me a text message saying, love Tracy Chapman, great artist. I would imagine that being the chef that she is, the cook that she is, and with a name like Carmela and an affinity for pasta and sorry, she's probably a supporter of Ferrari. Makes sense, doesn't it? Carmela, hope you're having a great afternoon. With any luck, my next guest has been having a great afternoon as well. She's from the Tawhid Community Trust, and they've been putting together a charity walk to raise money to save their mosque and community centre. Raja Hadia is somebody who came into our studio and really impressed the living daylights out of us a couple of weeks ago. She's taken up the challenge, and she's the first woman to do this from the Islamic community, to walk from Northampton, which is where the Tawhid Community Trust has its mosque, to the centre of London, to the mosque in central London. Now, we spoke to her on the first day of her epic trip, walking 67.2 miles, and she was full of vitality and enthusiasm and all the rest of it. On the end of the phone is somebody who I can only describe as knackered. Raja, how are you?
I'm good, exactly like you said. I'm knackered. Extremely knackered.
You have been walking every day for a week.
I am.
During predominantly daylight hours, although the first time we spoke to you, you said you would be prepared to walk in the evening if you felt physically capable of doing it. Just explain in a little bit more detail why you're trying to raise the money, because this is a fundraiser that you're doing. Why are you trying to raise the money? Why do you need it?
We needed to pay off the building for the community centre, the masjid, and of course the First Islamic Charity Shop in Northampton. So we're trying to raise as much money as possible. It would have been nice if we could have raised all of it. I mean, we still have time. I still haven't reached London Central Mosque yet. But I'm just trying to contribute as much as I can towards helping the charity to retain, the funds needed to keep the building.
Your attitude towards this is absolutely incredible. I mean, you're making this walk, and I don't want to play on the fact that you have a heart condition, but you do have a heart condition. You must have considered this before you started out for the journey. Has it affected you at all?
It did yesterday. I was completely knackered yesterday, beyond what I could have even imagined. I was extremely tired. I did end up having a really good sleep. I went to bed really early. I'll have to say, if he's listening, Peter from Heimer, his mobile home is excellent. I slept literally 10 hours. The bed felt like my own. So thanks to that, I slept 10 hours. I was so knackered. It was unbelievable. I couldn't even walk for like 5 minutes after. I've got blisters on my feet. I think it's the most tired I've ever felt, really.
So has it been getting more and more difficult day by day in that case? Because you wanted to average about 7 or 8 miles a day, didn't you?
Yeah, and I have been doing it. I've been sticking to that, really. I guess about 7.5 or something like that miles a day I've been doing. So I have been sticking to that. But I've reached this burnout zone right now where I'm literally, my battery's running a bit low. I'm still trying to sleep. I'm trying to I want to make it to the London Central Mosque for Saturday so they can welcome me there, which would mean that tomorrow I would have to push 8 miles, and of course Saturday morning get up early and push 8 miles to arrive, to my destination as planned.
So is this achievable? Because you want to be there sort of mid-afternoon Saturday, don't you?
Yeah, which means I would have to get up and start walking really early, probably about 6 in the morning, so I could get my proper breaks in between and rest and whatnot. But yeah, I do think it's achievable. I can't say I'll be able to walk for at least a week after that, but I do think it's achievable.
Well, it's been an amazing story since you first came in and told us that you were going to go and do it. Well, I mean, you've had to approach this as an athlete, but an athlete pacing yourself. What have you done in terms of eating and food and diet and making sure that you've got the necessary energy to go each mile each day?
Just trying to fuel myself as much as possible. Lots of fruits, getting my proteins, drinking loads of water, taking vitamins and things like that. Just as much as every possible thing you could do to try and fuel yourself, give me energy, get enough rest and things like that. But just try to eat healthy. Of course, staying away from fried foods and whatnot. So.
Now,
Yeah.
I did say that this was a fairly unique thing because I think, if I've got this right and if I remember rightly, and I'm sure you'll put me right on the detail of this, you are the first woman from the Islamic community to go and do something like this. What does it mean to the community for you, particularly as a woman, to be going and doing this?
I'm getting a lot of support from the women. They're really encouraging. They're quite proud of me as well. It's been encouraging to them as well. So. I think both ways, they're encouraging me, I'm encouraging them as well. So it has been quite positive on the community as far as that's concerned.
Now, it absolutely hammered it down with rain first thing this morning here in Northamptonshire. Have you been walking in all weathers? Because you started out with snow on the ground, and it's relatively mild here today. What's it been like for you?
I did get caught in the rain. I've been through everything but hurricane and tornadoes since I've been walking. It's been very strenuous, physically, mentally, emotionally. I've been through every emotion during my walk. A lot of laughter, a lot of tears, a lot of things going on. So, the weather has, played a huge role on that. It's been very difficult going through the snow, the rain, the mud, lots of wind and things like that. It's been quite dangerous. It was more dangerous than I even thought it would be, especially, getting across the M1s and, the slippery roads and things like that. It's been quite adventurous, to be honest.
Now, for those of us that live in Northampton, I mean, they always used to say that the best thing about Northampton is that you could get away with it. You could get away quickly because there's the M1 and there's the A5 and there's the railway lines and so on. When you go to London, it's normally about an hour or thereabouts on the train, or you get in the car and it's 55 miles and straight down the M1, and it's a straight line. That's anything but what you've had to do. So, what's been your route, and where have you got to in terms of staying on schedule and staying on track?
Well, I've got my husband here who's been a guide for me as far as taking care of the map and everything like that. He's mapped it out for me. He's been quite efficient as far as that's concerned. So he does it according to the amount of miles that I say I can handle during that day. So he'll map it out from one point to the next, and just following the pedestrian routes. Of course, there are some roads that don't have a pedestrian route that we can follow, so then it does get a bit dangerous. We don't have the sidewalks or anything like that to walk on, so you've got the big lorries going by and they're practically sucking you in or blowing you somewhere, either way. But I've been respecting, as far as how many miles I've set out to do a day, I have been respecting that, and up until this point, and I'm sort of hoping, for the next 2 days I'll be able to continue.
I guess right now there is a temptation to overdo it so that you've got a bit of a safety net to arrive on Saturday at around about 3 o'clock, and that would be the worst thing that you could possibly do. What sort of time are you going to walk to this afternoon? Because we've still got light, but we're not going to have it for much more than about an hour, I guess.
To believe it or not, I started early this morning and I've stopped already for the day. That's it. I'm going to go in, I'm going to get rest and build my energy to see how I'll do tomorrow. So I won't be pushing it anymore today. I'm really tired. I mean, extremely, extremely tired. And I really don't want to push it anymore this afternoon. I've already done just over 6 miles today. So I'm just going to rest up a bit and try to save up as much energy as I can for tomorrow and Saturday.
It's a very prudent thing to do. If you'd like to support Raja as she continues, Raja and Hadia, on her way to central London to support the work of the Islamic community here in Northamptonshire, and of course the coffee shop, the shop and the mosque work here in Northampton, then you can go and have a look at her Just Giving website, which is www.justgiving.com/Raja Hadia, and that's RAJAHADIYA. Go